let me ask you a question, Paggis. Let me ask you a question. Yeah? Let's say you got home and, I don't know, your wife is banging the next door neighbour.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be sufficient if your wife said, "Oh, I've got a model that explains how I didn't cheat on you"?
So, technically...
Yes or no?
Most likely.
Why is it whenever I ask Globus yes or no questions, I never get a yes or no answer?
Because the world isn't that simple.
He's about to explain how technically his wife could come up with a model that may be possible, and he'd have to consider it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Either she can construct a model that means she did.
So it could. One possibility is
either yes or no.
But it isn't a yes or no answer.
Are you serious? You're saying that your wife can construct a model to explain how she didn't cheat on you after she banged the next door neighbour?
Yes.
This is the level of sophistry we're dealing with.
So,
let
me tell you this. Let's say my wife... Let's say...
seriously, you're going to justify this?
Let's say my wife went on Amazon and she found this amazing new thing which can... a sex robot, which
the next door neighbour a sex robot?
Yeah.
No. Wait.
Stop.
Let me finish.
Obfuscation.
This is so embarrassing.
Obfuscation.
This is the ultimate cuckery, my friend.
You're not, but you guys are not letting him finish. I'll finish for him though, because
he's talking about sex robots.
Hold on. But here's the conclusion of his argument. The next door neighbor has been proven to be a sex robot and is not a human being that is banging. Because the model says so. Because his girlfriend gave him a model. No, that's not our next door neighbor. That's a sex robot that lives next door.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, this is nonsense, right? Obviously, this whole thing is nonsense. Clearly, if your wife is banging the next door neighbour, she objectively cheated on you. The end. There's no model that can explain that away. Can't be done.
So, I want you to look at these two realities.
I think his wife is banging the next door neighbor right now.
Probably. She's probably sick of his obfuscation.
It's a mirage. It's refracted.
If I would actually be allowed to finish.
She's like, Maggie, so are you going to have sex with me tonight or not? And he's like, well, technically I could, maybe, possibly, maybe I could build a model. And then she's like, fuck it, I'm going to see the next one.
As long as he's banging her at 9.8 meters per second square.
Let's give Paggis a chance to respond.
You have to get it correct.
Paggis a chance to respond, but I want you to respond to Crypto's question here.
So what was Crypto's question?
Can you construct a model to explain away the fact that your wife banged the next door neighbour?
Yes.
That's absurd.
Okay, there we go.
Absurd.
Right,
So,
Paggis, quickly, tell us what you imagine that model might be.
So one possible model that it might be is that she went onto Amazon and there was one dude who had invented this new sex robot who conveniently looked like the next door neighbor. It was like an exact replica. But then she buys it, she gets it, and she's having sex with the sex robot. Then I enter the door. Then I enter the room. And I see she's banging something which resembles and is in every way looking exactly like the next door neighbor.
This is what they call in America the good old college try, right?
So,
how would you verify that?
So then look. But when I am looking at the thing, then I see, she's banging something. It could then be the sex robot, but it could also be the next door neighbor who just walked over and is banging her. And I can have no way of this differentiate. Like when I enter the room, both possibilities are true. But as you said, which one is more likely? There is.
But you can verify.
But before I've verified.
Before you
we're not talking about before. We're talking about after
verification.
Let me finish. So, as you said, which is more likely? Yes, it's more likely that my wife banged the next door neighbor, but there's still a small, very, very small possibility that it was the sex robot. But then I go over and I look at if the next door neighbor is in his house, and then I see, oh no, he's not at home. Oh, yes, this model is false. Then I have proven that model was false. But before I have verified that, I can't know.
Let me try and tie this back very briefly, right? So when you enter that room and what you see is your neighbor banging your wife, and you're like, holy smokes, it's my neighbor banging my wife. And then that moment goes through your mind when you're like, wait a minute, there might be an explanation for this. And you start thinking about Amazon, and you start going through the price range, you start thinking, how much money does my wife have? Is that even possible? But for that initial view, you'd be thinking, well, I'm going to be going with what I see. And what I see is that my neighbor is banging my wife. So that would be the logical assumption at that point, wouldn't it?
No, I disagree with this. What I see is not that my neighbor is banging my wife.
This guy coming in the room and he still wouldn't recognize you're banging his wife.
No, hold on. Sasha.
Sorry.
He said he's not observing his wife being banged by the neighbor.
Yeah.
Yes, you are, because in this example, we observe the earth to be flat, right? You need to observe your wife banging someone.
Yeah, the premise was you walked in on your girlfriend cheating with your neighbor, and you were trying to construct a model to excuse that, so you wouldn't believe she was cheating. It was just, they happened just to be naked under the covers. It was just a coincidence. It's just, yeah.
Right, but let me just, Haggis, the point is, you come in.
Warm up.
Sorry, you want to finish?
Go on, Drace, go on. Drace.
It's all good. I just wanted to continue the example, but it's fine.
No, sorry. Well, you finish up if you want to. I just want to bring it back to the observation, right, and the logic of the observation, right? Occam's razor. It looks like your neighbor. Whether or not you think it's some high-spec sex doll from Japan, it looks like your neighbor. So you're going to be thinking, oh, that's my neighbor. And then it might come into your head, but, oh, wait, my wife, she's kind of loaded. She was really looking into those sex dolls. There's a small possibility. But the most logical assumption would be what you observe directly, which is your neighbor, right?
So, what I am observing... Let me finish now, please.
Yeah, but no...
Before you speak, please let me finish.
No, because fundamentally this is a red herring anyway, and so this is what I wanted to address before.
A funny one.
Because you can actually just verify whether it's a sex robot or not. You could just go up to it and go, oh, here's a battery. Or, oh no, it's a human. So obviously my question wasn't, I mean, you've done well to obfuscate the point, but this is about after the fact that you verified it's a human, coming up with the model to explain that away. That's what the point is.
What I am observing when I enter the room, if I start with that is not actually, I don't observe my neighbor. I observe something which looks like my neighbor. I observe something which looks like a flat earth.
Asserting that it is a robot.
Sounds like you're a cock. When you get up in the morning,
I can't even finish a whole sentence. This is insane.
Sorry, does that mean that when you wake up in the morning and you see whoever you live with in your house, you go, well, that's not actually them. It looks like them, but that could be something else entirely. Is that how you think?
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes.
So, because let me finish
now to respond. Please let me respond.
Again, no, because we have to stay on point. The point is that we verified it is a human. Any talk of robots is stupid. No one ever mentioned robot in the example. I know that because I gave the example. There are no robots. Let's leave the robots
yes,
to one side.
and I am going to respond to that, but I can't even finish a whole sentence, so it's a bit hard.
But how about you actually go for the point that I made and not a red herring?
So, what I explained was that there could be a model explaining and giving another reason for anything else.
But inventing a sex robot that doesn't
when you then
exist.
go and verify, look, it didn't have a battery pack. The another model.
You sound, I'm sorry, man, but you sound like one of those people that, like, even if you walked into the room and neighbor was banging out your wife and you realized it wasn't a sex robot, you'd be like, well, the neighbor would be like, well, I'm sorry, man, I just fell and somehow I just happened to wind up inside her. And you'd be like, oh, shit, that makes sense.
Yeah, we can make a model for that.
That makes sense to you.
I'll have to get that step from the front door removed so it doesn't happen again.
So yes, that is true.
Yes, that is true. Oh, man, bro, your man card back. Brother man, you need to go get your man card back. I don't know where it went.
Bro, this would have been much easier for you if you'd have just said at the start, you know what, yeah, if there was a dude banging my wife, I'd be pissed.
Guys,
this would have been over 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, this is an infinite regress fallacy.
But I'm trying to explain my point.
I think to be fair to Pagus, we should let him explain how the neighbor could be a sex doll when he's getting cheated on.
That's part of the example.
Please do.
It's a red herring.
Actually, Crypto's right. Because
I know.
First of all, robots fucking exist, and we've experienced them. If this was to be analogous to the conversation, there would have to be something that no one has ever actually experienced, like space. That is right.
Listen, this, if you behave
For example,
like a robot,
a particle which we haven't found that exists yet, which is like distorting our view of reality.
Okay.
But what Crypto said you could verify, go and check the battery pack, and it's find out it's not a battery pack.
So yes, I'm going to that. But then, as you said, there could be another model. Then we know the old model was wrong. But then you have a new model.
Wait, no, this I need to get. So Pagus, right, you've checked the battery is not there, it is a human. Now you're saying there's potentially another model. Could you tell me what that model would be, please, Pagus?
So then that model could be like, he fell and he fell and
went inside.
and then accidentally went inside him. So yes, but was this model?
He's not even Italian. He's not even Italian.
Pagus, so he fell.
He just repeated exactly what I said.
Pagus, I need you to be serious. Pagus, I need you to be serious. What is this other model? After you check the battery pack, it's not a battery pack. What's the model that could explain it?
I think your example, as you said, was very good with the falling. But then I look, what is most probable? What is the most likely? And I say, it's very unlikely that he fell and that happened. So therefore, I choose to believe and I choose to use the model which is the most likely, which is that my wife banged the next door neighbor and therefore I am divorcing my wife.
Okay.
But I will still always know that there was a small, extremely small
the
chance.
question. You still haven't answered the question.
This is what the globe does. It allows you to accept lies like that.
Yeah, we are 30 minutes into a question that you still haven't answered. Okay, so we'll try again. What model could you construct that your wife could then prove with this model that she didn't cheat on you after objectively having sex with a man next door?
But the problem with that statement is that we don't know. She is taking not objectively we can't know that she's objectively having sex with a man next door.
Wait a minute.
We can, because we verified it.
No, but the verifying, there might be another explanation.
What the fuck are you talking about? We verified it. We checked that the battery pack isn't there. We checked that the penis is in the vagina. It happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And now we're constructing a model to make the cheating go away.
But
as a matter of fact, your wife just said. As a matter of fact, your wife just said, "Oh my God, why are you here?" Does that convince you that that's your wife?
No. Oh, Pagus.
there could be.
Pagus.
Please, can we keep him on the question? Don't allow him to red herring and squirm and answer whatever question he wishes I asked. I asked a very specific question. He hasn't provided an answer because he can't. I just want him to accept this. Any obfuscation is very irritating right now.
So the fundamental way of what I am saying is that I can't give you an exact model, because the whole premise of this is that it is something which is beyond my understanding, beyond my knowledge, which is affecting this thing. So, for example, when I checked that the penis is in the vagina,
let him finish, Sonny.
Could have been. Let me finish, please. It could have been, like, say, an otherworldly, all-powerful being, like a demon or something, which then altered the visions and my memory, as well as my wife's.
Descartes' evil demon. Right, okay. Sonny, what were you going to say?
And then we look, this model, it's an explanation, so it's actually likely, but it's very unlikely. It's extremely unlikely.
Yeah,
therefore, we don't look at
Sonny,
that.
go ahead. Pagus, you're embarrassing yourself now.
Pause. Hey, Pagus, I just have one question, okay? Very simple.
Go ahead, please.
Do you believe there is such a thing as objective reality?
No.
There you go, folks.
That's it. Nail on the head.
Yes, I believe there is one, but I don't believe we can't figure it out.
Bro. Dude, are you objectively on Discord right now talking to us?
I can't actually know that. And as Roger, as you said,
then you're a psycho.
Well, then you can't objectively know if I mute you. So I'm just going to do that.
Yeah, that's a good place to put a pause on that, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And really have a little moment of silence.
That was fun.
For the globe there.
I mean, these people are insane. These people are insane.
Well, Crypto, that's one of the best clips we're going to have in years. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Pagus. If there's no objective truth, you cannot prove your globe, right?
Yeah.
It's
Pagus. I've just put you on pause there, by the way. So I think it's just time you maybe took a step back and have a reflect. Oh, is he gone?
I don't even believe he really said that. You don't even know if you're objectively here having this conversation. I mean, do I give you any credibility after that, or do I just classify you as a psycho? Why should I even speak to you after that?
What he was talking about was part of Cartesian philosophy, which is called Descartes' evil demon, which is the idea that you don't know that anything you perceive is real because there might be an evil demon controlling your perceptions, right? Which, of course, is completely unprovable and wouldn't actually matter anyway, because science is generally based on verification, but repeated verification by multiple people. So